Most families budget their food by the week or the month, but there is a parallel track of dining in America where a single evening at a table costs more than an average year's rent. The entry point to this tier arrives in a sealed 24-carat tin. Almas caviar is renowned for its pale gold color, and a single kilogram commands $25,000. That price reflects a strict biological bottleneck. This specific roe only develops in albino beluga sturgeon that have managed to survive in the wild for 60 to 100 years. These massive century-old fish exist almost exclusively in the Caspian Sea, requiring immense physical labor and geographic precision to locate, haul from the water, and harvest. The math operates similarly on dry land. A simple plate of pasta topped with Alba white truffles can run $800, dictated entirely by a biological ticking clock. The moment a truffle is unearthed, it begins decaying, losing its signature aroma by the hour. The autumn harvest in Alba, Italy, triggers a daily international sprint. Truffles are pulled from the dirt, cleared through customs, packed in cold storage, and flown overnight across the Atlantic. At this baseline level of extreme wealth, these exorbitant bills make logical sense. The diner is simply paying a steep mathematical tax to bypass brutal geographical constraints and extreme natural scarcity. But the logic fractures when a diner finishes a $25,000 tin of caviar and casually asks the chef to open another. This chart tracks the rising cost of ingredients against an individual's net worth. Notice how the spending eventually hits an absolute ceiling. For individuals with 9-figure bank accounts, money loses its utility as a filtering mechanism. When every person in your social circle possesses the capital to purchase the rarest fish and the fastest cargo flights, the price tag stops being a reliable measure of status. To separate themselves, the ultra-wealthy have to move beyond purchasing expensive ingredients. They start buying access to things their peers cannot simply write a check to obtain. The first step past pure spending is removing the public entirely. Some of the wealthiest families in America bypass Michelin-starred dining rooms in favor of their own personal tables. A highly decorated chef and their full team arrive at a private residence, carrying ingredients sourced from 3 different countries that morning. Over the next 4 hours, they execute a highly customized service that can cost $50,000 for a single evening. Standard high-end dining still requires booking tables, waiting for seating, and sharing acoustic space with strangers. The private service violently removes every public variable, leaving only absolute frictionless control. The $50,000 secures a monopoly of space. It forces the world's most elite culinary talent to operate exclusively inside the client's domestic borders. Beyond securing a room, the next tier requires hijacking global infrastructure for a single fleeting moment. Bluefin tuna otoro commands $100 for a single bite. That value is generated by a massive, highly competitive international network. Thousands of buyers crowd the floor at the Toyozu Market in Tokyo to evaluate, intercept, and secure the fattiest belly cuts. This map traces the route. A fish caught in the Pacific yesterday arrives at Tokyo auction blocks by morning. Before the day ends, it's flown globally to JFK, bypassing standard delays to land on your plate within hours. Decades of aviation technology and supply chain logistics are leveraged to deliver a piece of fat that dissolves on the palate and disappears in exactly 4 seconds. That $100 price tag covers the raw geopolitical power required to command aviation networks and global markets, ensuring a decaying asset reaches a specific plate within 24 hours. The final gatekeeper operates in complete secrecy. The highest tier of tasting menus features unlisted locations, 0 outward signage, and no published prices. These rooms enforce absolute artificial scarcity. Chefs limit their service to as few as 8 seats a night, generating waitlists that stretch past 14 months. Money guarantees nothing here. Individuals commanding private jets and limitless bank accounts are routinely denied entry and told to wait. The required currency shifts entirely from capital to social access. Sitting at this table proves you possess the patience and elite connections that pure financial wealth cannot simulate. At this altitude, the concept of a meal fractures from its original biological purpose. The pursuit of flavor and caloric intake is replaced entirely by sociological validation. Every step up the ladder conquers a different human constraint. They outspend biological rarity, they dominate physical space by confining chefs to their homes, and they bend global timeframes to capture a single cut of fish. The food functions exactly like a privately held masterpiece painting. It is an art form secured, consumed, and kept permanently hidden from public view. The ultimate luxury is the absolute certainty of your own position. It is the quiet knowledge that you have stepped into a room and secured an experience closed off to the rest of humanity. A moment of wonder. If financial limits and practical consequences vanished completely tomorrow, what would you choose to experience? The century-old caviar? The fleeting white truffle? The monopoly of a private chef? The globally orchestrated bite of tuna? Or the absolute exclusivity of the secret door? Tell us your choice in the comments. In this world, the ultimate luxury is the ability to choose exactly which restricted tier of the human experience you want to claim.